Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've stopped by my YouTube channel. Today we're going to delve into our last set of cards for the April 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit Inked Occasions. I've had a lot of fun working with this kit, and even after we get through the two that we're going to do today, I still do have some of the product left that I have put away because I'm going to do a scrapbook layout with what's left. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one we're going to do today is pretty simple. We're going to start with a card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This is Pool Party, so we're going to give this a nice burnish. And I've got a piece for the inside that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then I've got this piece. Now this was one of the card bases, half of one of the card bases. And I have cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4 because we're going to put that right on the top of our card base here. So let's go ahead and put that down. And we're going to use our seal here. We'll see if I can get through today with what seal I have left. I have some more on order, and it has been shipped, but it'll be a couple days before I get it. Okay, so let's see here. Let's get this on here straight. There we go. All right, so there's our front. And we're going to do... let's see, which way do we want to do this? Let's do this way. And we've got a piece here, this label that I cut from the Hugs of Bloom dies, which were the add-on dies that went with this quarters Paper Pumpkins. So I used this, and I also used this flower die and also the leaf die, and I cut 2 flowers and 2 sets of leaves. Leaves are out of Pool Party. The flowers are out of Berry Burst. And we're going to put these to the side for now. We're going to do our stamping. So I'm going to stamp on our little label here. And I'm going to use Hugs, which was part of the stamp set that came with the kit. And I'm going to do that in Berry Burst. So let's go ahead and ink our stamp up here, and we're just going to put this right in the middle of our label. And just like that. Okay, so that's going to go on the front of our card, and then on the inside piece we're going to use stamp that comes from the Garden Meadow, and I'm going to use this I Can't Imagine Having a Better Friend. So I've got that on a block here. Let's go ahead and ink it up. And we'll go ahead and put that down on our inside piece. There we go. Okay, I'm going to close the ink pad up here so we don't have any ink disasters, because you all know how ink pads and I do not get along. So we'll go ahead and put our inside piece on. So I'll go ahead and put some seal on it. And we'll put that here, centered best that we can. Okay, now let's go back to the front. So we're going to put our label here in the middle. And I'm thinking flowers kind of on each corner, and our leaves then on each corner as well. And then we're going to need some embellishments for the front that I forgot to pull out here. You know, I think I'm going to use these. These were in color from last year. So I'm going to use these Berry Burst ones here. We've got 2 different sizes, so that'll work well. So let's go ahead and put our, I'm trying to decide if I want to pop this up or not. I think I do. So let's go ahead and put some dimensionals on this. And we'll get it down. And the back's off. All right, and we're going to go ahead and put this right in the center of our card. So we'll put it, let's see, right here looks pretty good. So we'll put this down. Okay, now, since we popped it up, I'm going to pop our flowers up too. So we'll go ahead and use a couple of mini dimensionals on the back of here because I don't want them to show. And we'll just put one right in the middle. And take the backs off of these. Now this way, when we put them on the corners, they're going to be the same height as our label, so they won't be drooping. So we will put it right there. And then this one, okay, I did take the back off. We're going to put it down here. Okay. Now, our leaves, we're just going to tuck under here. So we're going to lay these flat. So we'll get out our liquid glue. And we'll just put a little bit on each leaf. And we'll go ahead and tuck these under our flower here. So we'll put one right there. And the other one down here at the bottom. Oops. Perfect. Oh. Okay, so stick to the paper, not my finger. There we go. Okay, that looks good. All right, so now the only thing we have left for this one is to put our gems on. So let's start with one of these bigger ones. And I'm going to go ahead and put it like right here. And then I'm going to use a couple of these here at the bottom. So we'll put one here. And another one. Let's see. Let's put it right up here. There we go. Okay, so there's that card. Simple, easy, came together really quickly. So let's move on to our second one. Now this one's a little more intricate. So we're going to start with, again, a card base out of Pool Party that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm just going to give it a good burnish here to make sure it lays flat. Now, the piece that goes on the outside is a piece of white that's 4 by 5 1/4. And I have run this through an embossing folder called the Distressed Tile 3D embossing folder. And it has just this really cool kind of all over pattern. So this, see if you can see that, makes a really nice base. So we're going to put that on the front. And it's also going to be a horizontal card. So let's get this down. And I'm going to use my seal again for this. And we will put that on here. Centered up. Just like that. Okay, so there's our first layer. Now, it's not quite straight. Let me just straighten it up just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now Our second layer that we're going to put is a piece of bubble bath, and this is 3 by 4, and it's going to go like this on our card. So we'll go ahead and put this layer down. And I just want to center this from left to right as much as I can get it in the center. I think we need to go way over here a little bit. Let's see here. It looks pretty good. Okay, now, then we've got a couple of pieces here that I have cut using, let me see if I can remember what I used. I used the, something I thought I already had out, but I guess I didn't. Let's see. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. So it's the other one. Let me see if I still have it out or I need to dig it out. Or maybe it's right. Is it here? No. Oh my goodness, where did it go? Let's see here. It's the, pardon my reach, let me find it here. I was tidying up earlier and I think I put it away accidentally. Okay. I put it away so good I can't find it. Does anybody else ever have that happen? Where you're like, I just had it. And then, poof, it's gone. Oh my gosh. This is hysterical that I can't find this. It's the, so I've got the Everyday Details one in front of me. So it must be the Stylish Shapes, which I'm pretty sure I can't find it at the moment. But that's what I used to cut this. So I just cut 2 out of one of the card bases. And we're going to put them on here like this. But before we do that, we're going to stamp on these. So we're going to use our flower and a butterfly from the Spotlight Nature set. And now I know I've got that one out. I just saw it. Okay, I'm beginning to think that I'm losing my mind. Maybe I am losing my mind. Who knows? Anyway, I know it came from the Spotlight on Nature. I'd show it to you guys if I could find it, but for the life of me, I am not finding it. Alright, well, we're not going to waste a lot of time looking for it because we've seen it before, so we will move on. So we're going to use this flower and this butterfly, and I'm going to stamp on these 2 little pieces. So let's get our card out of the way for now. And I'm trying to decide, I think I want them like this. And the question is, do I want to stamp in black or in Bubble Bath? I would really like to use Bubble Bath, but I'm afraid that it'll be really light and you won't be able to see it. So I think we should use black. So I'm going to pull out my black Memento. And we're going to take, let's start with the butterfly. So I'm going to put it on a block. And it's just a half butterfly. It looks like it's flying. So we're going to ink it up. Okay, and we're going to just put it basically in the middle of our piece here. And this is one of those red rubber stamps, so you guys know you have to be very careful. Straight down, don't push too hard, don't rock your block, and straight back up. Okay, so there's our butterfly. And now we're going to do this flower. So let me get my bigger block here. And we'll put our flower on. Okay, now obviously this big flower is not going to fit our entire piece here, but so we're just going to kind of put the majority of it on that we can. So I'm going to actually take the ink pad and put the ink to the stamp instead of trying to do the other way around since it's so big. And we're just going to basically ink up the top 2/3 because we're never going to get the stem, the bottom of the stem on. So I just want to make sure we've got a good coverage on the top part. And then we're just going to kind of get as much of the flower on this as we can. And yes, it's going to go off the edges, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. So we're going to go straight down and straight back up. Here we go. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so let me put lid back on the ink pad and get it out of our way. Now we can put these on the front of our card. And I think I'm going to pop these up with some dimensionals. So I want to put them kind of like this. So let me find my sheet of dimensionals. Here we go. And we might actually be able to finish this one up soon. So we'll get all the big pieces off of this sheet. And then I like to save the edges to trim up for sometimes when you just need some dimensionals in a smaller space. Using the edges, chopped up into smaller pieces works wonders. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, one more. All right, so we'll get these backs off of these. And we'll get these put down. And then, well, we need to stamp our inside, I guess. And I do have a sentiment for the outside that I used from the stamp set that came with the paper pumpkin. So let's get these on here first. So I kind of want to put these so that there's kind of the same amount of space, if I can, between this left-hand edge and then this one to the right-hand edge, and then, so I need to scoot this one way over. Okay, so scoot this one over. Because I want to leave some space between the two of them, but yet still have a border on the outside. Scoot it over just a little. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we got that down. Now, the sentiment, like I said, came from the stamp set that came with the kit, and I just used this congratulations, and it also came with the sentiment base here. And I already had this stamped out because I was practicing at some point. And so we're going to go ahead and use it. So I'm just going to get some more dimensionals here. We're going to pop this up as well. And we'll get this on down here at the bottom of our card. So kind of, oops, not there. I'm going to go kind of like right at the bottom. Let's see, let's put it up on both of the pieces there. There we go. Okay, so there's our congratulations. Now we still need to stamp our inside. So here's the piece. This is 4 by 5 1/4. I almost said it backwards. And in here, we're going to put, let's see, we need a sentiment to go on the inside. So we've got congratulations on the outside. What do we want to put on the inside? Let me see what I've got on my desk right here, which is obviously everything except what I need. Let's see. There's our stamp set. hang on, I've got another pile of stamps over here. Let's do, well, we have to have something good to put on the inside. What can we do with congratulations? Seems like we should have something to put in there. Oh, I have an idea. Hang on. Here we go. Let's just make this a retirement card. So we've got congratulations, and out of this Gone Fishing set, there's a stamp that says Happy Retirement. So let's put that on the inside. So let me find that one, because I don't think I've used that one yet. Let's see, I think it's right here. Okay, so we're going to use our Happy Retirement, and we'll get this on a block, and I think we'll use Bubble Bath for the inside here, since that's what we used for the sentiment on the outside. Now, this is a stamp I've never used before, so we're going to go ahead and season it up here just to get that film from the manufacturer off of it. And I'm also going to grab a scrap piece of paper so that we can test it. Since I've never used it, I want to see what it's going to stamp like before I do it on my project. So let's see, let's see what this looks like. It doesn't look too bad. Okay, so we'll go ahead and ink it up for real now. I'm just going to put this right here at the top. There we go. Happy Retirement. Okay, so now we'll get this on the inside of our card, and then our last thing is going to be to put some embellishments on the front. And let's see. Once again, I forgot to get any out, so let me see what I can find for this one. So we've got that there. Let's see what we can find here. I've got the perfect thing. Let's see if I can put my hands on the pack that I already have open, which I do not see off the top of my head, but that's okay. We have plenty more. I'm going to use these purple adhesive back sequins that were part of Celebration earlier in the year. You guys have seen these before. I have more packs of them than I will probably ever use up, so we might as well use them here. So we're going to do, what should we do? You know what? I think I want to do these. These right here are kind of iridescent, and they pick up both the purple and the green, or the pink and the green. So I think I'm going to use these. Let's see. I'm going to put one right there. And let's see, we'll put one down here. And one more. Where are we thinking? Right down here by our sentiment. How's that? And there we go. So there's our congratulations Happy Retirement card. So pretty. A lot of texture to this one with that embossing folder in the background. So, okay, these are our two that we had for today. Just so happens that the two that were left were basically a lot of the same color palette, but such a soft and pretty color palette. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Go ahead and ring that bell for notification when I upload my next video. So this is officially wrapping up our April paper pumpkin, and we're going to start in on May. And I've got several cards already planned out to bring to you guys. So make sure you subscribe and don't miss any of it. And I will see you all in the next one. Have a crafty day.